not gonna like this one. Jesus was not white. Revelation 1, lines 14 and 15. The hair on his head was white like wool. This doesn't feel like wool. How would somebody in that time describe coarse, curly hair? I don't know, I wasn't there. Line 15, his feet were bronze. That, my friends, is pink and a lack of flexibility. According to the book, he was born here, which today is known as this place of this place, often having people's olive or darker skin as a description. I would love if you took a minute and Googled people from that region to see what they look like aesthetically, so that maybe, just maybe, we could get off this white Jesus conversation once and for all. I've never even read the book. This is just, you're just able to find this information. Random disclaimer. The book does not reference his appearance outside of this statement. Side note, even if he was, what do you think he'd move to America and vote for who your interests are?
Hello everybody, and shalom to everyone. I hope that you're doing fine wherever you are today. This is Eugene Talk Stories. So, I've been thinking, why is it so hard for white people to accept that Jesus wasn't white? It's really hard for them to accept that Jesus is white. And I kind of tried to think, why is it so hard for them to accept the issue that Jesus was black? And it is not just about the issue of Jesus being black. It's about saying things according to the historical evidence, things that really happened during the medieval times. And amongst the discovery of things that happened during the medieval time is Jesus was really black, but the information was distorted for days to maintain the Eurocentric beliefs that people in the world have, including African. Because even if today you go to an African person and tell them that, do you know that Jesus was black? And they'll just laugh at you, because it is the Eurocentric brainwash that people across the world were given. But now, today, at least some people have really known the truth. And I was asking myself, why is it hard for really white people to accept that Jesus wasn't white? And amongst the things that came to my mind, first I would like to say, I understand these people are going through what is called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance in the sense that the Eurocentric features of representation of Jesus is what has always been depicted in their mind. It's always the thing that they have been told. And this is not only happening to white people, it also happening to some black people or some Africans in general, because of this cognitive dissonance. So it is hard to choose really, because what the scripture's been saying, what they really, not the scripture really, but what the depictions of paintings of Jesus that people have been shown is not the real thing. People came to discover that it is not that. And why is it that white people are really struggling to accept this reality? This is your host, Eugene Talk Stories, and let us watch this video. I'm going to come back with my commentary after you watching the video. So probably I know this is something that you know, but I know you'll ask yourself, why are they so hard in accepting the reality? This is your host, and I'll be back. After you watching this video, I'll tell you why is it hard for them to accept it. Until then, let's dive right into the video.
I've had this debate multiple times. I'm going to continue having this debate. So Jesus wasn't white. The people in the Bible aren't white. They were Middle Eastern. Look at how terrifying this man is. I'm sorry. Most pictures of white Jesus just look really scary. I'm sorry. I find that Middle Eastern Jesus is just... Homie looks a lot more friendly and approachable. I don't know. I'd rather listen to this man preach over white Jesus. That's just me.
My guy, you are most definitely wrong, because if it didn't matter, it wouldn't have been written. So a lot of people would like to know, what color is Jesus? What color is God's Spirit? So let's talk about it. And before I get started, please understand that this is not about the color, but it's about the truth. Yes, the Messiah was a black man, and God made his son in his image. God says in the Bible that his spirit is the color of jasper, sardine stone. In Revelation, it says his head and his hairs were white like wool. This is the color of white woolly hair. Who the only ones with woolly hair that stand out from the rest of the people? Black people. It said his feet was unto the color of fine brass, burnt in a furnace. Now this picture is the color of fine brass burnt in a furnace. Extremely black. The Messiah was a very, very dark man. And I know a lot of y'all like to say, no, he's Middle Eastern. So if y'all believe that he's Middle Eastern, then y'all should know that the Middle East was a part of Africa, right? Full of black people, dark black people. Wait, but y'all love to say, no, he's an olive skin color. Well, let me tell you something. I only know 2 different color olives, the green olive and the dark black olive. So tell me which one it is. There's pictures from the 13th century of a black Messiah and black saints. To be honest, almost everybody in the Bible was black, and a lot of them had locks. That's why I'm kind of glad that a lot of us are coming back to our roots. A lot of us are starting to get locks, because it's really a part of who we are. So the Messiah had hair like wool that was as white as snow. He was the color of fine brass burnt in a furnace. He was from the Middle East, which back in those times was Northeast Africa. So I don't know who this man is or what agenda they trying to put out. Even if they didn't believe that the Messiah was black, the least they could have did was make the hair white, make the eyes red. Like I don't know who they thought they was fooling with that image. Like that's the true deception of Christ. Most of those people in the Bible was blacker than coal. And a lot of them would tell you that their skin is black upon them. And please understand that this is not racist. It's the truth. And all I want to do is wake my people up to who they really are. Because we are more important than y'all ever know.
And many Christians, some of you are watching me right now.
Episode
you are mad.
5.
You're getting angry. You're getting worked up. Because I am saying that I don't believe in a white Jesus with blue eyes. No, you cannot say that. You are denying Jesus. Why did you allow the white people to make a white idol and you never complained? Now I'm saying it, you are getting angry. Why are you angry? You are not angry with me. You are angry with yourself. That you have been lied to for a long time. And for the first time you meet information on your face. And it's causing lots of what we call here psychological misunderstanding, cognitive dissonance in more professional psychological language. It's your own conflict in your own mind with your own belief system. Decolonize God. Number 2, decolonize humanity. We cannot be taken only as Africans who don't have a soul. We are Africans. We are Al-Keblam. We are Bantu. And for this reason, when they tell us that you are slaves, you are less than nothing. Africans are animals. Africans are this. Africans are this. This dehumanizes us. And if we are to use the Bible as a text, it says we are created in the image of God. And if therefore we are animals, then God is an animal also. If we are stupid, then God is stupid also. And if we are less than human, then God is also less than human. Because when we say we are in the image of the one who created us, then we look like the one who has created us. And he who insults me insults the one who has created me and has made me to be what I am. Therefore, an African must also have permission to identify with a God that looks like him. Yes, Buddhas in China, they can talk to their own Buddha. And the white people can create their own Messiah also, that blue-eyed boy, and hang them around. That's for them. Yes. So what's wrong if he's an African? And if it does not matter whether Jesus is black or white, then can we please have a Chinese one? Can we please have an Indian God also? Because it does not matter. Then all of a sudden, no, we cannot make him anything except white. Then you are giving white people an unnecessary privilege to terrorize the rest of us with their white concept of superiority, which translates itself into politics. We shall conclude there. Then thirdly, we need to decolonize and deconstruct the Messiah, the whole picture of Jesus. If you have a Jesus in your house, a white picture of a Jesus in your house, please burn it. That's a demon that is in your house. If you have a book that has a white picture of a white Jesus on it, please burn that book. Those are white demons If you have a small little cross on your neck that is hanging with a white Jesus on it, that small little blue-eyed boy, burn it. That is the demon you are carrying in yourself. And we cannot, as black people, be calling on white demons to oppress us and invoking them, calling these white spirits to come and have superiority over us. The true God of the Bible was not a white man. Madagascar is 100 and something, 200 kilometers away from Africa. It's part of Africa. Yet North Africa, which is Israel, is separated by the Suez Canal and is not part of Africa. And this canal was dug a few days ago. Are you okay in your head? We are on the same platonic stone, Africa and Middle East. And God created a garden east of Eden. Therefore, Africa is Eden. We need to decolonize this Jesus story and throw away a white Jesus with his idols. I don't believe in a white movie star from Hollywood who is supposed to have come around and saved me from my sins. How can a white boy with blue eyes die for Africans when they cannot even share land with us? Show me one white man who has died for a black man. Show me one white man. 25 million people dead in the sea on their way to America for slavery. 15 million people dead in Congo. 25 plus 15, 40 million plus people dead. And all their blood means nothing except the blood of a white boy. If you are going to do theology, do it correctly. Do it correctly and give me an option. If I want to believe in a white Jesus, I'll believe in a white Jesus. If I want to believe in a black Jesus, I'll believe in a black Jesus. But if you want to be true to the biblical text, then be honest as theologians. And I'm embarrassed to be sitting here as a theologian together with some of my theological friends who have gone to school to study, and when you come out of school to study, we actually continue to promote the wrong theology and push it in front of our own people. We have become the colonizers ourselves, Uncle Toms, who are sitting on the conscience of our people, which is wrong. Which is wrong. How do you sleep at night taking money from widows and orphans? How do you sleep at night taking money from people who cannot afford food and bread because Jesus will bless them? For the past 15 years they've been giving their offerings to you and their lives have not changed. What is the problem? Because you don't have faith. You don't have faith. When Amfundis, do you have faith in collecting money from us? So we need to understand and deconstruct the whole picture and ideology of this white Messiah. And as long as we worship a white Messiah, my submission to you is that we are not worshiping the truth of the text. This is an academic exercise we're doing here. If you want to be true to the text, please, I bought a can of Coke. Can I drink the Coke? Can I drink the Coke? Don't tell me just drink as long as you are drinking. I said I want Coke. Therefore, remove the unnecessary iconography.
Yeah. Remember, even if how much proofs we will provide, it will still be hard for some people to believe that really Jesus was not white. And the following are reasons to why it is so hard, why palm-colored people or white people are really struggling to accept the fact that Jesus wasn't a white person. The first reason that I find out was the Eurocentric depictions. For centuries, European artists have depicted Jesus as a white man. These images, prevalent in churches, literature, and media, have shaped the popular depiction of Jesus as Jesus' appearance. This portrayal of Jesus as white reinforces the dominant cultural and racial norms of European and Western societies. So one, it is the media. For instance, for me, I grew up seeing Jesus as a white person. We used to cry watching those videos while we were kids. We were so emotional. All I could ever see during those times was the depiction of Jesus in the media as a white person. I never saw Jesus as a black person. So one is the Eurocentric depictions of Jesus, how they showed Jesus as a person of not of color. The second is colonialism and cultural dominance. During the colonial period, European powers spread their cultural and religious beliefs worldwide. These included the depiction of religious figures, including Jesus, in their own image, presenting Jesus as white helped legitimize European dominance and they perceived superiority of European culture. So we were used to be told that God is white, Satan is black. Now it's crazy. So if you know that Satan is black, we were being told that Satan is black, God is white, Jesus is white, and the depiction of you realizing this as a black person, especially as a kid, what came into your mind? It came into your mind that white people are really superior because their images are being likened by what our visions, what we've kept in our minds, what we've believed in, 3 is racial hierarchies. Western societies have historically been structured around racial hierarchies that placed white people at the top. The idea of black Jesus challenges these hierarchies and the entrenched belief system that supports them. Accepting an unwhite Jesus can be seen as a threat to this deeply held belief. It is true. Imagine growing up, somebody telling you, oh, you are the king, you are the boss. And then somebody later come on and say, nah, you ain't the boss. This person, the boss, that last person that you've been laughing at, that last person that you've been looking down upon, they are the boss. You really find it so hard to accept it, all right? It's really hard to accept because of the racial hierarchies that was put, the system have been putting there before to the black people. I'm also going to talk about cognitive dissonance that I've also talked about. Cognitive dissonance occurs when people are confronted with information that contradicts their existing beliefs. For many, the notion of a black Jesus conflicts with lifelong teachings and cultural imagery, causing discomfort and racial and resistance to change. This psychologically really makes sense because it is really hard for some people to accept change, and change really comes with reality, So the reality is that Jesus ain't white. And so if you've lived your life, you're 50 years old, realizing this fact, it's not easy to accept. It's really hard for them to accept. So you get it where the cognitive dissonance comes from. The fifth one I also talk about, which one, the one which is really common, and you know this and I know this, and this is racism. Underlying racial prejudices can make it difficult for some people to accept the idea of a black Jesus. Racial biases can lead to the rejection of many historical or theological evidence that contradicts the establishment of Eurocentric narratives. Some people are being enslaved, specifically black people. Majority of black people are being enslaved. You're gonna tell me that the Messiah comes from the people who are being enslaved? Nah, that's how they reason. That's how they can't accept it, because that's just how they grew, knowing that they are above and you're below. I would also like to talk about religious traditions. Christianity, as practiced in many Western countries, has been heavily influenced by centuries of European tradition. Changes to fundamental aspects of religious beliefs, such as the appearance of Jesus, can be met with resistance due to perceived threat to religious and cultural identity. This really makes sense because most of religions were so Eurocentric. And when the religion was Eurocentric, obviously they tried to whiten people, whiten the characters in the Bible. When the reality comes that most of people who gain popularity in the Bible are the black people. The Bible talks so much of black people to mean that they were really in the Bible. I'm also going to talk about lack of historical context. Many people are not well versed with the historical and geographical context of Jesus' life. Jesus was a Jewish man from the Middle East, and his appearance would likely reflect a characteristic typical of that region. Educating people about historical context can help challenge inaccurate depictions. really it can help change the inaccurate depictions. So the argument that Jesus comes from the Middle East can be true because the black person, people who started civilization of black people, and black people were found in Egypt. And where is Egypt? Egypt is in Africa. So this really answers all the questions that we want. Those are my reasons as to why it is so hard for white people, to accept that Jesus ain't white. So if you're watching this video for the first time, consider subscribing to our channel, join our membership, and really get to see what we can offer you. Until then, this is Eugene Stories. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.